Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started now. So again, welcome to the second webinar in our speaker preparation series for AIHce 2019. We're going to be walking you through today what to expect on site in terms of the room sets, logistics, the logistics forms for PDC presenters, and talk about the convention center rules and regulations. And if you weren't able to attend the first webinar, this is a series that we're going to be putting on over the next few months up until the time of AIHce. Generally, we're doing about 1 to 2 per month. And if you'd like to see the schedule, just go to the AIHce website, click on Speak, and then click on Helpful Hints for your presentation. You'll see a listing of all the various subjects that we'll be covering on the upcoming webinars. That's also where you'll be able to click on the links to previous webinars, watch the recordings, and download the slides. Okay, and just as a reminder, we have a few upcoming deadlines. January 16th next week is the preferred deadline for you to log into the online speaker system, review your speaker agreement, profile information, and biography. If you need assistance on how to do that, please do visit the webpage that I just showed you on the webinar recordings, and we had a webinar covering all of that last month. The next upcoming deadline is going to be to review all the content on the speaker toolkit, which is the page that I just showed you here on the AIHce website. So you will want to click through all of the particular buttons that pertain to you based on the presentation that you're doing. Okay, so we're going to start with PDC Logistics. The room and AV requests are due to us on February 4th, 2019. So if you are a lead presenter for your course, you should have received an email from me last week letting you know that the form is available, and you will access it through the Online Speaker Center. If you have any questions about filling it out, just please shoot me an email. And for anyone that's interested in just presenting on a PDC, the student seating is available as part of the room set along with 2 to 4 charging stations. Power is not going to be placed at every seat, just like last year for all of your attendees. The head table will be provided for up to 2 instructors along with a display table. You'll have a projector, screen, remote mouse, and up to 2 lav mics. For PDCs, you will be using your own laptop, so please be prepared for that. All other audio-visual will be at the expense of the presenter, so we do have a form posted on the PDC presenter page that you can download for anything like that. You can also make those requests on the logistics form that you fill out, and we will provide you that order sheet. As part of the logistics form for the lead instructor, they'll also be able to choose between 2 different seating charts. So sample versions of those seating arrangements can be seen on the screen here. You'll be able to choose either classroom seating or group pod seating.
To switch gears to the education session room setup and equipment. All of our education session rooms will have a standard room set with the following. There will be a laptop which will be set in presenter mode, which is new for this year, where the presenter will be able to see his or her notes, and that will be different from the screen that the audience views, and that should help you out while you are presenting. If you want to put less on your slides and then add more to your presenter mode, then that will be ideal in helping you with your presentation. We'll also have a projector, a screen which is sized appropriately to the room. Again, this year we're in 16:9 format. Last year we had the 4:3 format, and our PowerPoint template is actually set to 16:9 already, so you don't have to worry about that using our PowerPoint template. But if for some reason you have to use a company template, please make sure that it's set to 16:9. We'll also have 2 wired mics, a podium mic, and an audience mic on a stand. There will also be a wireless slide advancer. Just one thing to note is that there will not be a traditional head table. Instead, we'll have a cocktail round with 3 chairs for presenters. This set encourages presenters to be more interactive with each other and with the audience. Any other audiovisual needs that are not listed here, such as a flip chart, would be at the presenter's expense and should be arranged and paid for with our exclusive AV provider. Again, we will post the order form online. And just another note, we'll be doing a webinar for education session presenters on March 7th, so stay tuned for those details. To show you what our education session rooms will look like, we have more of a traditional theater set, and again, you can see up at the top of the room the cocktail round with the 3 chairs, and then also the podium in the right corner. One note is that most of these rooms will be set to around 150 to 250 attendees, although some may be larger depending on your room assignment. A few notes about our posters. Posters will actually be located in a different area this year in the Minneapolis Convention Center. If you've presented a poster before, you know that in previous years we've either had the posters in the expo hall or in our hub area. This year we'll be having 2 separate areas of the poster that will be near the escalators and outside of the education session rooms on 2 different floors. We will be color coding our signage, and all of the communication that goes out will mention the specific color that corresponds to the sign on the floor where your poster will be. On that note, you will not need a pass to set up your poster. All you need to do when you get on site is go to registration to get your name badge. As in previous years, the setup hours for posters will be Sunday, May 19th from noon to 5:30, and Monday, May 20th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central. Again, we will send out many communications via email, and that email will contain a number of the bulletin board where you should hang your poster. Please make sure you only hang your poster on the board where you're assigned to that number. Do not hang your poster anywhere else. If you need assistance, you can go to the speaker ready room to speak with our staff, which will be room 102A in the Minneapolis Convention Center. Teardown hours will be Wednesday, May 22nd from 3:15 to 5 p.m. Central. If you do not dismantle your poster by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, your poster will be discarded. So if you want your poster back, make sure that you go there before 3:15 to 5 o'clock to get your poster, otherwise it will be discarded. One thing to note for this year is that we will not actually have tables underneath the poster boards, and the reason for this is because we are actually moving to a new poster format. So this is very important for those of you who have previously presented. We will not have horizontal poster boards. We are moving to vertical bulletin boards. I have the dimensions up on the screen. They are 45 inches wide and 91 inches tall. Is what the board dimension is, and the recommended dimension for the poster would be 43 inches by 78 inches. And then we also have a visual there of what the poster could look like. Of course, that's ultimately up to you. And it's important that you go to the webpage that we have up right now, which for Poster Logistics. We do have some more design considerations, and we also have special instructions if you're a student poster presenter. We will be holding a webinar on March 14th for poster presenters, so I implore all of you to attend that if you are a poster presenter.
And joining us from the meetings department, we have our meetings director, Bethany Jericho, and she'll be going over the convention center rules and regulations.
Hello, everyone. So as you are likely aware, AIHA is contractually obligated to adhere to the rules and regulations of the convention centers and the hotels in which we hold all aspects of AIHCE. I wish I could tell you that these rules and regulations were the same for every center, regardless of the location, but they do differ each year. So the points we've highlighted on the screen are the major items of importance for speakers and sessions, both PDCs and education sessions, that we must adhere to in Minneapolis in 2019. The center staff set up, change, and strike all rooms based on the floor plans that we provide them. They are not permitted to change any of the setups, nor can AIHA change them once we set them up and have the floor plans approved. To do so requires astronomical fees that would cause our registration fees to have to go up, so we want to avoid that. All areas of the center require floor plans that are approved in advance by both the facility and the fire marshal. This means all tables, chairs, structures, signage, and anything else that is brought into or placed by the center staff is included on those floor plans. To that end, once the floor plans for PDC and education session rooms are submitted, we cannot move any items, including where they are placed on site. So we do ask all speakers and moderators to agree that they will not move items. No chairs, no tables, no AV equipment, nothing that's physically set on those floor plans other than anything that you are bringing into the rooms, which include handouts or other items, smaller items like that. AV is provided by our exclusive vendor. We've worked with them for several years and have negotiated long-term rate discounts and ordering timelines to help keep those costs as low as possible. If you've spoken with us at a previous AIHCE, you've likely seen their faces. They've certainly learned a number of yours, and they're here to help you without question. The standard AV lists that Erin and Catherine provided earlier are what will be set by AIHA. Anything in addition to that will be at your own expense. Unfortunately, we cannot allow speakers to bring in AV of any type, including polling devices, and that is due to union regulations governing the facility. You may hand carry in materials, handout, or other items that you want to distribute to attendees into those sessions with the exception of AV. However, you may not use a cart or a dolly to do this. If you require assistance via a hand truck or dolly, luggage carrier, something like that, please let us know as soon as possible, and we will attempt to find a workaround or an alternate solution for you to get those materials into your room. And if you need accommodations on any of the items that we've outlined, please let us know as soon as possible, and we'll do our best to ensure a mutually beneficial solution that gets you what you need, but also helps us stay in compliance with our contracts. We want your sessions to be successful and to get glowing reviews, but we are contractually obligated to adhere to the rules and regulations of the facility. So we ask for your assistance in helping us to do that.
Thank you. So we're going to be unmuting all the lines and starting to take questions. Just one moment.
The conference has been unmuted. The conference has been unmuted.
Okay.
Hi, this is Scotty Butler from the NIR committee. I have a question on your pods.
Sure. What's your question?
We are doing a hands-on thing. It's not people sitting listening to a lecture. It is people actually doing an action. We are going to have 4 different setups, so we could do the pod thing, but if we had 4 tables instead of 6, it would work fine. Do that.
Yep.
Okay, you'll just
We
want to
only
make
have
sure
one
you
copy.
put that on your
We don't have
logistics
2?
form,
Nope, we have 1.
and you fill it out, and we'll
Right
talk
now.
to you. And the set of pods will just kind of be determined on the capacity of your class and how many people.
It is. I'll have to log it in for you, though. Right now it's only.
And we had a question in the chat.
Okay. Well, I don't need it.
Can folks mute their phone, please? Thank you.
A question in the chat is being asked about, is computers provided for PDC instructors? No, they are not. So we're asking PDC instructors to use their own laptops. We will be providing everything else. And this is just basically due to sorry about that. I'm just going to mute the line for a second.
The conference has been muted. The conference has been muted.
Okay. So this is based on feedback that we've received prior, that folks like to run some programs off of their own laptops and things like that, and for that reason Generally, that doesn't work on the laptops that we provide, or it requires extensive setup in advance, so we just ask for PDC instructors, since those are a little bit more in-depth, that you use your own laptop. Another question that we had in the chat was, AIHA supports Poll Everywhere for those needing to run polls in the audience. Is it correct that cell phones as a polling device would not be restricted? That is correct. So cell phones can definitely be used, and Poll Everywhere is one of the preferred softwares for polling during sessions. Okay. All right, and then we also had a request to see the upcoming deadlines again, so I'm throwing those up on the screen. I'm going to be unmuting the lines again and taking more questions.
The conference has been unmuted.
For one user license, and you only get it for 1 year. I'm like,
who is this knucklehead?
All right, do we have any other questions?
Yeah, that's why we wanted to go stay with the single user and put it on a remote server.
Please mute your phones.
The person at a time can log in. Yeah.
And can anybody please mute their phones if you're not asking a question?
Or just maintain an old computer with that.
Which is the other option right now.
Guys, you're coming over and ruining the phone call. We can't hear the young lady talking. Please mute your phone locally. Thank you.
We could set it up. Yeah, we actually had it set up on, on desktop
I think they've muted their speakers, but not.
Log in remotely, then it'd be like it used to be.
Can we use the chat feature instead of unmuting phones? That might be more efficient.
Okay, so if you'd like to ask a question, please use the chat.
The conference has been muted.
Okay, we had one question come through on the chat. When will we know the number of students who will be attending our PDC? Originally, when the PDC was submitted, you submitted for a capacity between 35 and 60 people. You can ask us at any time for a roster for your class, so we can let you know where you're at so far. Another question, for a large 2-day PDC with 50 to 60 people, can we get more power access? For those with larger capacities, we will be providing up to 4 power stations. Are we allowed to bring our own flip charts? No, you will not be allowed to bring your own flip charts. That is considered additional AV equipment. We do have the order form for those.
There's a question I see here about providing slide decks in advance in the ready room, as we've done in previous years, which is a good question. We will be using our presentation management software, where you will go to the speaker ready room on site, upload your presentation at least 30 minutes prior to the start time of the session, not your specific presentation time, but the start time of the entire session. You will have the option to do this before you get on site. We will send out all of the pertinent details on how to log into that system. It is important to note that the presentation management system is not the speaker portal. It's not the same system. So we will send out your information on how to log into that. And at the end of April, again, you'll have that option to upload prior to getting on site, but you also can do your uploading when you get on site 30 minutes prior to the session. And just one thing to note is that AIHA does not review PowerPoint slides at all, so you don't need to send them to us directly.
With the exception of PDCs. So for PDCs, we do ask for all the slides in advance. That deadline is going to be March 27th for you to get those into us, and we'll create handouts for those. We had a question in the chat about seeing other presentations or topics for education session presenters where there are 3 folks placed together for 1 hour. You definitely can. If you visit the AIHce website and find your presentation on the agenda and click into it, you can see all the folks presenting with you, as well as the descriptions of their talks. Please clarify if speakers will be available for connection to laptops for displaying videos during the PDC. If not, can we request them in advance? Yes. part of the logistics form for PDCs includes a question about if you will have audio, video, or both for your PDC. PDC or session is part of an hour session with 3 individual speakers. Since we're using, you will actually not be using your own laptops for a session where you are an hour-long session. If you are part of a PDC that has multiple presenters, you can just use one laptop if you'd like, or if you need to switch back and forth between multiple laptops, that should be fine as long as you make sure you let us know what sort of connection you need, like an HDMI or whatever in advance. Is there a template required for PDC slides, or can you use our own? We do have a preferred template available for PDC slides, so we do like that you use that, but we don't require it for PDCs. For education sessions, it is required.
And if you use your own template for PDCs, it should be formatted in a 16:9 ratio.
And that is different from previous years. Do we have a lunch break and times for PDC agenda planning? Yes, you do, and I will be sending that out to you prior to asking for the handout information, so you can make sure that you work that into your agenda. Lunch will be provided for all PDCs that are not half days, unless you're doing a morning and afternoon PDC on the same day. That's from 12 to 1. There will also be 2 coffee breaks for PDCs, one from 10 to 10:30 and one from 3 to 3:30. Are there speakers available to use with our laptops? I believe I just answered this question. So yes, there are, if you mark that you will have audio and visual. What version of PowerPoint does the speaker management tool use? It's the most updated version of PowerPoint, and if you download our template, you won't have to worry about the version. Are there any other questions at this time from the chat box? We got a question about picking a PDC moderator. No, you cannot. We do an open call for PDC monitors, and all of those positions have been filled. If you are part of an education session that does not have a moderator, we have an open call happening for that right now. Any other questions? Okay. I don't see anything else. Oh, one more. I haven't seen anything. Oh, for open call for moderators, you can actually get to it on the AIHce website. That's available under the agenda.
So we're going to be working with the volunteer groups right now for a few days just to make sure that they've seen it first, and then we will open it up. If you are a volunteer group member, which I suspect that most of you are, we just sent out the announcement today, so you should check with your officers, with the chair and the vice chair, as they probably received a note, and I believe it was posted on Catalyst within the community. Under your specific volunteer group community, it should be posted there. But if not, you can email me. My email is Catherine. My name is Catherine Christo. My email is kchristo@aiha.org. So it's KCHRISTOE@aiha.org. It's also all of the websites. And you can email me directly, and we can work to see what's open.
Okay. And a couple of questions that can be answered pretty quickly via this site. So if you go to AIHce2019.org and click on Speak at the top of the screen here, you can find all of these various buttons that will answer a majority of the questions that you do have. What you will want to do, if you have an additional question, you'll find mine and Catherine's contact information on the various pages, and you can email us directly. All right, we're going to go ahead and end today's call. We'll be placing a recording of the call along with the slides on this website within the next couple of hours. So you can definitely take a look at the slides again if you have any questions. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Please stand by.